the Sewell Auto Tech. Come on in. My name is Rob Turner. I'm the director over here at the Odessa College Sewell Auto Tech building, and I'm so glad that you could join us on this tour today. As you can see, we have a lobby area when you first enter the building. Normally this lobby area would have a few vehicles and some displays. It would normally have some flyers out. It's the information area. It's also a place for our students from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. to come and use the Wi-Fi here and do their internet and whatever else that they may need. Currently though, it's set up because we have a graduation celebration coming up at the end of this week for our first asset cohort. Over here you'll see the receptionist desk. We don't actually have a receptionist here. What we have is a full-time Wrangler Express employee. She is able to register our students and help them with any of the information that they have so that they don't actually have to worry about trying to get to the main campus. We've also set it up with a bookstore, so our students don't have to actually go to the bookstore as well to get any of their supplies. We're trying to make it very convenient, make it a one-stop area while you're here. One of the goals of the Sewell Auto Tech building when we built it was to keep to the tradition of an auto dealership. So as you can see, it's kind of built like a dealership. It's got a huge lobby in the front. As you come down the hallway, this would be like where the finance offices would be in a dealer or something of that form. But we use it as a place for students to be able to hang out. And we also wanted to keep focused with the tradition of this original property, as the Sewell family originally had this property. And now it is they graciously donated the property. So we wanted to highlight throughout this building, their the huge partnership they've had with the Permian Basin area, as well as with the Odessa College. You'll see throughout the building we have art. The art is actually done by our art students over at the main campus. They came here. They actually took these pictures throughout our building with cell phones. Over here, as you can see, this is our admin wing where the employees, full-time faculty, have offices at. Just outside, as you walk out of those buildings, you will see that we are highlighting our professional achievements. And this is to show the students that we're not just talking heads, so to speak. We are well-trained in the industry itself. And to promote the certificates that we offer here as well, because we're both ASC certified and we're also Snap-on NC3 Training Center. Come on and follow me down the hallway here. It's a little quiet today. Our high school students are actually at their main campuses today doing STARS testing. But normally this would be filled with about 150 students a day that come down these hallways. Because Permian and OHS high school students no longer go to their auto shops on campus. They come here and do auto shop here and are dual credit students. These students end up with, as long as they've started when they were sophomores, they'll end up with both a level 1 certificate in automotive and a level 1 certificate in diesel technology. This is also where we kind of showcase some of our community partners. And as you go down and you'll see on the walls, we have banners and stuff throughout this building to support that. Now this building doesn't just house the automotive technology and the diesel technology programs here. It actually also houses our CDL program. The last two classrooms in the hallway here are our CDL programs. And this parking lot out here is where they're at. So as you're seeing some students walking by, that's where they're going. So this is one of 5 classrooms that we have that are just set up for automotive and diesel technology. This particular room is also where we house the asset program, the Ford Asset Program. As you can see, it's adorned for Ford at this moment. But we also use this room throughout the evenings as well for some diesel technology. That's why you're seeing the hydraulic simulator and a diesel engine in the room. So through this door, we're going to go into the lab area. A few of the classrooms actually have access directly from the classroom, so the students don't have to go and walk around. They can actually come through their classroom right into the lab. Follow me. So as we enter the lab area through this one, this hallway enters into the main area of the building, and we'll show you that in just shortly. But I wanted to highlight, we also have lockers for students. It's a smart building, so I'm gonna get these lights on. So in this area here, we have lockers so that we require in this program that students wear work boots, the proper PPE, and a uniform. They start out the program using an OC uniform, similar to like the jacket that I'm wearing. And then as they get jobs in the field, which our focus is to get them into jobs within the first 8 weeks of the program, they have their work uniforms that they're allowed to wear from whatever organization or company that they work for. But a lot of the students, they don't want to come here in their work clothes, so we allow them to use this very similar to a gym. They're allowed to come in, put their stuff in, change into the restrooms, and then come out here and store it safely. As we go through here, we're now entering the main lab area. The total space of this area is about 82,000 square feet. And to give you an instance of the size of that, that's about the size of a typical Walmart. So come on and follow me on into the automotive lab. And as you can see, this is a large space. Our program is designed to set up as a hybrid system. So the students go home first and they study and they preload themselves with information. As they preload themselves with information, the next step is they come in. We make sure that they've got any questions, we answer them in a small presentation in the classroom, and then the students start in the lab areas. And as you can see, our lab areas are very well equipped. That's because we are a Snap-on partnership school. One of the things that we really push here is the latest and greatest in technology. As you're looking around in the auto lab, you may notice that these engines look very new, and that is because they are. They're actually within the last couple of years. Because our goal here at Odessa College is that we're not preparing students for today, we're preparing them for futures. Because if we prepared them for today, they'd be outdated by the time they graduated. Also, you may notice on the back wall, we have the latest and greatest in simulators. That's because we start the students on simulators. When they perfect their skill on the simulators, the next step is to get them to the live cars, which is just outside this lab, and we'll show you that shortly. We also utilize these vehicles here, and you may be looking at them, they're kind of funny looking, aren't they? That's because we call them clip cars, but they're also designed to where we can actually put bugs in the vehicle. This program is heavily emphasized on diagnostics and electronic diagnostics. In fact, almost half of the traditional program is designed just for you to understand electrical and electronics, because there is no system on a modern car today that doesn't have electrical or electronics in it. As we go out of the auto lab and go down, you may notice that it's pretty clean and it doesn't look like your typical auto shop. And you're absolutely right. We were gifted this by the community here in the last we've opened up in 2020 with this brand new facility. And we take pride of it here. So we do keep it. And we keep our students within their curriculum. They actually help us keep this and organized and clean. You may also have noticed in the shop that we don't have the tubes that are typical that you would see. And that's because we're using a passive ventilation system that is constantly computer monitored and constantly checking the emissions level in the building. If it deems that there's a need, it will open up in different levels. For one, turning on fans or turning on the cross ventilation, to automatically opening up the bay doors to a ventilator. One of the advantages of being a Snap-on training facility is that we sometimes even get Snap-on equipment before it's readily available in the industry. Again, keeping with our goal of teaching technicians for the future, not just for today. On into the transmission lab. At the same time, I want to highlight some of the technology that we use with our toolboxes here as well. As you can see right now, we do have a transmission lab going on in the evenings. We both have automatic and manual that are being taught right now. And then one of the things that I would like to show you is just how much stress that we've used on just making sure our inventory is controlled here. These toolboxes, for example, there's 6 of them in the building, and the students can use their IDs to unlock them, so we don't have to have a bunch of keys hanging on us and everything else. The instructors here get to use their key fobs, and it opens it up. It actually, even as you can see, it said Turner there. And as you can see, we went with Snap-on, and part of that is we use in their equipment. And these toolboxes are very well organized, which allows us to even know if anything is missing, because if there's a slot empty or something of that form. And these tools they're pretty much filled with anything a student would need in general service. We do have a small classroom over here. This is for our OC Tech students. In fact, they just stepped out. They're off doing something at the moment. But the OC Tech class is really an amazing program. These students actually start with us as freshmen in high school, do their high school here, and they actually graduate 1 week before they graduate high school with an AAS, either in automotive or diesel technology. As we walk down this hallway, we're going to head into the diesel lab. But one of the things I want to also point out is that we take safety very important here, and we also take the environment is important. We use safety clean products throughout the building for our EPA. So as you go into the diesel lab, you will see that it's very similar as the auto lab, but a little bit bigger. Well, that's because diesels are bigger. But as you can see right now, we've got an engine repair lab going on, and the students are actually tearing down these big Cat engines, these are Cat 3s, and rebuilding them as part of that class. So over here you can see on a stand that we actually have a late model Detroit diesel on a stand where students do diesel technology with it. You notice the stand though looks kind of custom, and that's because we used our welding department. So our students in our welding department built the stand to allow our students here to use it. And very much like the auto lab, we have simulators. And so as you can see in the corners and stuff, there is some ATEX simulators for diesel as well. Because again, the students read about it and watch videos about it at home, come here, hear a slight presentation, so they hear about it, then they come out and they start crafting their skills in the labs. And then once they're done, they go out to the main lab. So just like the auto program. Hi, follow me as we go into the main lab area. So it's kind of like you're almost following the journey of what our students do in a typical day when they go to class. They come in, they get greeted by our faculty, whoever's teaching that class. They go into classroom for a little bit. Then they come to the lab and they work for a little bit on that skill. And then they take that skill now to the actual vehicles that they would be working on. And as you can see, we have a couple of very large transport vehicles in it. That's currently because right now we're doing advanced diesel tune-up, which is diagnostics. One of the key things that we wanted was we wanted very realistic. So if you notice they're a little on the dirty side, that's on purpose. Because these vehicles are not brand new. They're a couple years old and they have about 160,000 miles on them. So follow me on down as we walk past the storage rooms. Both of these rooms are filled with tools, they're as well as demo parts and stuff like that. And as you can see, they are key fob access, again, trying to keep our inventory under control. So follow me on into the main auto lab. As we walk down this pathway, I'd like to say thank you so much for joining me in a tour of this facility. And do you have any questions?